today I'm going to start exploring the possibilities of making a Norwegian style line aquavit, or a caraway forward botanical, almost like a liqueur, finished in sherry barrels that crosses the line of the equator twice. So here's the deal. One of our awesome Patreons sent me a little care package, including some caraway from Norway and a bottle of commercial aquavit. So I can make the stuff, or try to make it, and then see if I'm close to the right result. So thank you so much, dude. I completely and utterly appreciate this. You're the man. All right, team. I do believe I'm ready to have a crack, an exploratory Hail Mary, stab in the dark try at the line aquavit style spirit. Of course, we're starting with potato vodka. I made this recently. There is a video, link in the description down below if you want to make it. Part of the reason I recently made a potato vodka was so I could make this Norwegian style aquavit. Traditionally, it's made with a base of potato vodka. 700 mils of that into the pot. And I have already prepared and weighed out, oh my word, I'm not going to do that. I'll show you some B-roll. All of the botanicals and spices ready to go. Of course, the caraway is kind of the odd one out, the different thing, the thing that makes aquavits a little bit different from other spirits. We have 8 grams of that going into the pot. Get in there. I also have 4 grams of fennel, 1.5 grams of Star Anise, 1 gram of bitter orange powder, because I cannot seem to find the real thing. This stuff works well though. 4 grams of Aniseed, 2 grams of cinnamon, and 3 grams of coriander. All of the hard seed style botanicals I've given a quick go over in the pestle and mortar. Not trying to pulverize them, just trying to kind of crack them open a little bit and freshen them up to get into the spirit. For now, I'm going to get this pot turned on, because I'm going to treat this pretty much the same way I do my gin. I'm going to get it up to 50 degrees-ish Celsius, let it macerate for a couple of hours, and then we'll distill it. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this with aquavits, but we'll find out together. I'll see you in a couple of hours when this is macerated. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to help tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol creates an enzyme to help break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics the first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best the next morning. Click the link in the description to get 15% off at checkout with a no questions asked money back guarantee. This has been macerating now for about 2 hours. Smells actually surprisingly on point. I think so far we're doing well. We're just going to proof this back down to below 40%. It's about 39% by my calculation. We'll get the still plugged in. Warming up, ready for distillation. So we're off to the races, and like always, I'm guessing we're going to take a small amount off the top. Almost there. Botanicals in a still, they just do kind of weird things, but they tend to clean up really quickly. So this isn't for the alcohol itself. Yeah, we're good. Cool. Already made really good cuts on the potato vodka, so I'm not worried about that. It's just the first little bit of botanicals, go a little bit funky. I've collected about 160 mils, maybe a little bit less than a third of the way through the run at the moment. And up until now, the flavor has been mostly dominated by the caraway seed. If it carries on like this to the end, I won't be disappointed, because I wanted to get that flavor coming through and see what it's like to distill. But that's not quite what I was going for. You never know at this point in time though. Don't stress if you get to this point in the run and the flavors that you're looking for haven't come over yet, because chances are it's going to change dramatically at the drop of a hat and a completely different flavor will come over. But who knows, maybe I do need to make some large changes to the recipe. We shall see. We're at about 425 mils now, and I'm starting to taste a hint of cinnamon coming through, which leads me to believe we're probably near the end of the run. The ABV's dropped also. I'm guessing it's about 55-ish%. Still getting really nice flavor there, so I'm gonna carry on. If the cinnamon gets too intense, I might just cut it off though. I don't really want to be able to actually taste cinnamon in the final product. It's just another layer of complexity to add to it. And actually, funnily enough, as we're talking, the flavor's dropped off to almost kind of nothing. It's just kind of flabby and blah at the moment. We'll keep collecting in a separate jar for a little bit, just see what happens. You know, obviously this is different to anything I've distilled before, so a little bit of a recon mission further down in the run's never gonna go awry, right? Okay, the flavor's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm pretty confident nothing good is gonna come of that. I think we're probably down below 50% ABV now too. Let's measure what we've actually collected a little bit more accurately. It is, okay, we're pretty close. 426 mils at 75% ABV. Let's get this proofed down to 60. We can talk about sherry and oak. 106 mils to get it to 60% ABV. What is the whole idea? What's the deal with going past the line of the equator twice in the hold of a ship? Legend or kind of history has it that Aquavit was sent off to be exported in a ship, and then the wholesaler that was supposed to be receiving the goods wasn't able to pay for it, or for some reason it ended up coming back, being sent back, and someone happened to notice that it tasted different. There was something kind of magical about it. So it's now evolved into literally a style of spirits, which is pretty freaking awesome. Is there something to this? Would it actually change the flavor of the spirit? I think potentially. First of all, you're going to have a mechanical like agitation in the barrel. I can see this actually doing something, like constantly changing up the spirit that is in contact with the wood, constantly like gently washing against the wood. I could see that actually creating a difference. On top of that, you'd also have relatively drastic changes in climate from hot to cold. And I think in some ways that's more likely to change things quicker than the slish-sloshing effect. Now, I have seen other home distillers make up a barrel and put it in their car. And this makes a bunch of sense. It's gonna get that mechanical sloshing. It's also gonna have much bigger temperature gradients. You park in the sun, it's gonna get pretty freaking hot. You're outside overnight, if there's a frost outside, it's gonna get pretty damn cold in the car. I could see that working. And when I have a recipe dialed in, I think I might utilize that technique. If you guys think you have a better idea though, let me know. If you don't have a better idea for me, I guess I'll just be the crazy guy with 6 liters of Aquavit and a Badmo barrel in the boot for 6 months. The Aquavit is generally aged in Oloroso sherry barrels, and those sherry barrels are normally American white oak. This has a kind of a medium toast and a very light char in it. I'm gonna go with this just for testing. Honestly, it kind of fits the bill, but it was just close to hand as well. This is maybe a third or a quarter of one of the Chase the Craft maturation sticks. And I don't have Oloroso cherry on hand. I do have some Fennel. I'm gonna do, oh, you know what? Let's just go straight in there. I'm gonna do a little teeny tiny bit of that. We can adjust later on. This is the pilot recipe. For the real thing, obviously, sherry barrels would be ideal. I'm gonna put this into a warm water bath at about 40 degrees Celsius for 24 hours, and we'll come back and taste tomorrow. And here is the result. Beautiful color on that. For those wanting specifics, I gave it pretty much 7 hours at 45 degrees Celsius. And then I've let it sit for 48 hours just at room temperature. Let's get stuck in and have a taste. Ooh, yes, interesting on the nose. Perhaps a little bit too cinnamony. You know what? Let's let's side by side this with the commercial example. I shall return. Okay, so way more heavy on the sherry presence. And I don't know if it's more heavy on the caraway presence or just less heavy on specifically the anise and the cinnamon, but the balance is quite different on the nose. And funnily enough, when this came off the still, I thought I had nailed that balance. Like the white spirit going in here was much more like this. I couldn't smell or taste specifically cinnamon at all. And the anise was kind of humming along with the fennel and the Star Anise. Okay, that is delicious. Completely delicious. Not what I'm looking for though. Mostly too heavy on the anise. The cinnamon as well a little bit though. Way lighter overall in terms of botanical load, way heavier on the influence from the sherry. From tasting this, I would say I need to halve the anise, back the fennel off a touch, and probably half or quarter the cinnamon. So I'm thinking a recipe that looks something like this now. I'm glad I did this test before just making a large barrel. The other reason I wanted to do a quick test was to put this out there and see what you guys think. See if you have a stunning recipe for this style of aquavit. Do you think I've missed a key ingredient? I've used an ingredient that would never be used traditionally or something like that. I want to have your feedback as well before I go ahead and make a much bigger batch of this. You know what? Before I do that though, let's try just a splash of sherry in here. I forget too, I'm using the wrong kind of sherry. That will change things significantly, I think. Yes, that has pushed it much further towards where it should be. Yep. Still too heavy on the cinnamon, still too heavy on the anise. I want the caraway peeking out over everything else. I think we're pretty damn close though. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you next time. See ya.